What is going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a good Tuesday. A little slate, just a 4-gamer that we're taking care of here. And we're going to go through it game by game and just talk about what we're doing. We did just get word that Halliburton and McConnell are in, so that's nothing to worry about. Hopefully, maybe we get a light night in terms of news. Maybe there's some, we don't need to wait on everything. Maybe we can just go ahead and play. Let me just see what this is here. Some sort of notification. Okay, let's hope it was nobody else out that I missed. Anyway, please like, subscribe, all that. We added a bunch of new tools. We're really excited to be partnered with PayDirt DFS as well as SaberSim, and would love for you guys to check it out. Some of the PayDirt tools are really, really awesome. We couldn't be happier to be working with them, and would love for you guys to come experience some of the benefits. And yeah, I promised before we were going to be making some moves and doing some different things. We're probably going to be raising our prices shortly. We'll offer some more multiple packages and stuff like that, but now would probably be the time to get in. You will be grandfathered into whatever packages we continue running if you do get in now. All right. I don't love selling. I don't love doing that stuff, but we have to keep the lights on, as they say. And if you guys aren't able to subscribe, please like the video anyway. And even if you are, please like the video. We appreciate it. It allows us to keep doing these for free. As always, I will jump into the premium Discord voice channel and talk through what I'm going to be doing on this slate. A little bit more in detail with exact exposures and all that. I did post all of that stuff. That's one of the things that we do. I just say everything I'm doing every day, and hopefully it's beneficial for you guys. Sheets is supposed to be back tomorrow, so we're wishing him well, and hopefully he will be back. And we'll see him intermittently probably for the next little bit, but we got a good strong team here, so hopefully you guys are checking it out. Also a big NHL night. I'm actually playing NHL tonight, which is a first for me. So looking forward to that. And yeah, with all that said, let's get into the game by game stuff here. All right, back-to-back night for Washington. It's hard for me to see this game staying very close. I think it's kind of interesting taking some shots on Jordan Poole, just because the lack of ownership. It is not the ideal situation, again, with the potential blowout, but that's sort of every Wizards game anyway, especially on the road. So I think Jordan Poole is probably the one I have the most interest in. We'll get into what I really like in this game in a little bit, but you could stack and pray, as TJ suggested. You could stack and pray that this game stays close if you want to. I don't love it. I don't love the Middleton. I don't love like a ton of Wizards. The ones I'm the most on board with are Sarr and Poole. Don't mind if you use Champagny. There's not that much value. Taking a shot with Marcus Smart would be just that, taking a shot. There's been no evidence to show any real ceiling or upside, but Poole and Sarr, I certainly am on board with being over the field as a low ownership. We're getting pretty heavy ownership. Obviously, great matchup. Love Isaiah Stewart off the bench here. I don't mind that one at all. I think that's one I could probably talk myself into as being my favorite play on this side. I really like Jalen Duren as well. Obviously, I don't think you need to want to play them together. It's not the worst idea. It's a 4-game slate, but you do lock up the center spot, and there's some other centers that I like a little bit later that we'll talk about. Mitchell and Hunter out for the Cavs. Of course. What would a show be without that news? So I'll have to reassess a little bit in a minute with that. We'll rerun some things and see where we're at as far as that goes. That's not going to make Cleveland a lot more popular as well, obviously. The guys who like Schroeder, I'm probably going to eat some of this chalk because of the value, and I think he'll get some of the blowout run. My favorite play, though, actually on Detroit, and the game just seems to suit his style, is Sarr Thompson. Sarr Thompson, along with Isaiah Stewart and Duren, would be my 3 favorites. Again, I'm going to have exposure to all these guys, but that's how I have it ranked right now. Next would be Cunningham. Next would be Harris. Next would be Schroeder. Then it would be Cunningham, Harris, and even Tim Hardaway Jr. If you're going to play him on, this is the kind of slate. And why can't we take a shot with either Malik Beasley or Ron Holland? Those would, again, it's a lot of guys to name through, but we don't have that many games. I think this is an interesting spot to try to attack. So I would be more looking at the guys who might get some of the blowout run, the Schroeders, the Stewarts. Sarr, anyway, I still like him. And then Malik Beasley and Ron Holland could see some run off the bench if this game does play out the way that I think it will. But nothing's guaranteed. It's the NBA. A lot of things to go. Good to see you, Rick. Of course, happy to be here. Good to see you, Dell. And Brendan, as always, appreciate the help. Good to see K9 and TJ and everybody else in here, Andy in here. All right, moving over to the Brooklyn side of things. I hate this spot for Brooklyn, and they do play faster in Cleveland. That does help. And now we did lose Hunter and Mitchell, so maybe we could argue for hoping this game stays close. I think Cam Thomas is the most obvious play here. I think Zaire Williams would be the next one because of the value. But if you want to get like a little bit lower ownership, I think taking a shot with Keon Johnson makes some sense, or Tyrese Martin. Day'Ron Sharpe is one who intrigues me a little bit off the bench if you're going to play the blowout angle. And I could see him getting run anyway. You do have Clowney back tonight, which is not ideal. I'm a Day'Ron Sharpe guy. I just think you're going to see a wide range of outcomes, but he does have a ceiling. So a little bit of interest in the Brooklyn side, more so than I did before. I'll wait to get to the Cavs in a little bit, and we'll talk about the game that I'm the highest on. I'm not going to talk about TJ. If you're paying for the site, I'll talk about the exposures. I'm not talking about the exposures for any on here unless we have site members, because I'm gonna talk about that elsewhere. We do have to keep some things at a premium. Giving away every single thing you're doing for free, it feels unfair to the people who are paying for some of that information. So I am going to reserve and share that my exact exposures in the premium Discord. All right, Milwaukee and Indianapolis. Really, I love Giannis. I'm going to be over the field. I bumped his projection up. I bumped this whole game up. I'll just give that part away. I really think this game is the game you want to target. And I think the ownership being lower because it's, we got everybody healthy basically, or most everybody healthy. I mean, obviously Bobby Portis is going to be gone for a little while. I like the idea of getting over the field in this whole environment, including guys like Brook Lopez, who I don't usually play. Small slate, want to do things a little differently. But Giannis, then Lillard, then Kuzma for me, followed by Lopez. Taurean Prince for value. Gary Trent for value is totally fine. Not excited about it, but we don't have a lot of spots. And if you want to get a little frisky, Kevin Porter Jr., be above the 1%, maybe you get like 4 or 5% of it. I think there's enough upside to justify that. As I said, the things are going to change pretty soon as once we get those Cleveland updated projections. And I am still on DraftKings, right? Yeah. All right, Indiana. I am well over on all this. I think these projections are off. Miles Turner has had some huge games in the past against Milwaukee. Really, really want to get overexposure there. I think you play him with Duren as my natural way of wanting to go for tournaments, and you're already getting different right off the bat. You could pretty much play fair bits of chalk depending on the size of your tournaments after that. Then we get into the others. All I can say is they will all be bumped up by me. I will be well over on Halliburton and Turner. I'll be over on Siakam unless we hear anything about a minutes limit for Halliburton, which I don't expect. I would. That's the only thing that would keep me off of Halliburton. Siakam would be the next one for me. I like getting some Obi Toppin here and some Mathurin. Neesmith would be the next one for me, then Nembhard McConnell. But I am going to have exposure to all of them. This is the game I'm going after the hardest, and maybe it'll change a little bit with the Cleveland news. But I still think I'm probably going to end up way overweight this game as far as what I'm doing. Got to be underweight somewhere, right? I'm going to have exposure to the Clippers, but I will be lower than the field is expected to be. Zubac, Kawhi, Harden. I actually like Zubac the best, I think. It's pretty close. But I'm probably going to be under on Harden and maybe over on the other two. That's sort of what I'm looking at this moment. I'm sorry, not over on the other two, with the field or closer to the field. Still not quite at the field, but Kawhi and Zubac I will have exposure to. Less of Batum than the field. With the field-ish on Chris Dunn. And then not really anything else that stands out except for maybe taking a shot on Bogdanovich off the bench. I could see that paying off, but it's, again, you're talking about a 4-game slate, so you're trying to look for ways to get different. That's the only reason that pops up for me. Matkovic is hard to ignore at 3,700. We don't have a ton of value. We will have more shortly. Giannis officially in, by the way. And then Missy, again, I like some other centers. I mentioned that both Detroit centers, and I like Turner and Lopez. So maybe I don't quite get to double digits of Missy, but it'll probably be somewhere right around there. Alvarado is a go. I kind of like that one. And I love Trey Murphy and Zion at low ownership here. I'm going to bump their projections up. I actually haven't done that yet. So I'll do that one just right here, right now. I think that there is definite upside for Zion here. And there's definitely upside for Trey Murphy. Wide range of outcomes, but there is a ceiling there. And I would like to try to give myself a chance at it. So that's sort of a quick run through. Now we're going to wait for things to update. I'll talk a little bit on FanDuel real quick, just about what's, where I'm at here. Who's out? Oh yeah, Mitchell and Hunter. So that's obviously going to do this. And it looks like they're updating as we go. And I'm curious, sometimes the initial updates give you a little bit of an inflated projection on the other Cleveland guys. On the team that's being, wow, they dropped the line quite a bit. I still think that Cleveland's going to control this game. But yeah, Mobley, Sam Merrill's the one who's popping up on FanDuel as the value. But Mobley, Garland, going to be massively owned, and I think for good reason. Again, I want to focus on Milwaukee, Indiana, but it's really hard to ignore it with Mitchell and Hunter out. It's really hard to ignore this spot. Again, you could use Okoro or Merrill. I don't have a strong take. I guess on FanDuel, I'd prefer Okoro at a similar projection. That's sort of where I'm at. Craig Porter Jr. with no back, and again, a blowout. He could play the blowout run. We have no Ty Jerome today. So all these guys, I forgot to mention Ty Jerome is also out for them. So it's going to be hard to avoid the Cleveland. I'm going to sort of bump up the Milwaukee, Indiana game, make sure I'm overweight there, and then sort of see what it gives me. But I did mention a couple of the other ones, the Zion and the Trey Murphy, that I think are kind of interesting ways to go as well. TJ's asking about Sam Merrill for value. Yeah, I just went through my thoughts on that. Of course, K9, that's what we want to do for sure. Brendan says he's got Mobley and Garland plus 15 points on BetMGM before Mitchell got ruled out. I think that was a good bet anyway. I don't really know. Mobley averaged 18 and a half. Garland, what is he at? He's in the 20s. I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but it seems like a pretty damn good bet. I like that, Brendan. And now you're kind of playing with house money, not quite playing with house money. It's still got to happen, but I find it unlikely that it's going to happen. Lillard, of course, available to play as well. That we just got that through. But the difference is, like, if you look at the value where it's gone now, you just see the extreme difference about how Cleveland is so popular, or going to be so popular, and clearly standing out as the best value. We still don't have that minimum cost value on FanDuel. I mean, Merrill is the one. Again, I like Okoro if everyone goes to Merrill. Going to depend on where the ownership ends up. Obviously, these ownership projections have not updated just yet. Harden or Cunningham. I lean Harden because the game is closer, but I'm not playing either of them as much as the field is. That's where I'm at for that. And I'm going to take a look real quick at DraftKings now. They've updated the projections as well. And we're going to take another quick look at Cleveland. Yeah, you see Merrill a little more obvious over here. And I would prefer Merrill, like I said, Merrill on DraftKings. I think Okoro on FanDuel, because the turnovers, the steal block upside definitely favors Okoro versus Merrill. He gets 3 of them, and you're already halfway home. But on DraftKings, 3-point shooting would lean more towards Merrill. Porter Jr. Porter Jr. is going to be hard to avoid. I think he's going to end up being really popular. And you could go a different route and play the best plays, quote unquote. Like, you could play the Thomas, Zaire, Claxton, and then run it back on the other side with at least Jared Allen, Mobley, and Garland, and then use one or two of the value pieces. I don't think it's a bad idea. I still have a hard time thinking Brooklyn's going to keep this game close on the second of a back-to-back traveling to Cleveland. Cleveland's been dominant even when they've rested guys in these spots in the past. So I'm still leaning towards the game is going to likely blow out, but maybe it doesn't. Maybe it stays close enough. Either way, it's going to be very hard to not have at least one of Garland, Mobley, or Allen in your lineups, at least one. And then you have the value pieces, which are also going to be hard to avoid once we get those projections updated. So as I often do, I'm going to get out of here pretty soon so I can go talk to the premium members in the premium Discord channel. Please give us a like, a thumbs up. Anybody has any more questions, please fire them on in. I'll probably stick around here for just another couple minutes, and we're going to balance that. Yeah, see, they dropped it a little. Oh, they actually raised Merrill's a little bit and raised Porter's. Yeah, it's going to be hard to avoid this Cleveland. So look at this. You have 7 of the top 11 from Cleveland. Actually, 8 out of the top 12. Oof. Yeah, going to be tough to avoid that on a slate that's lacking in value, but it does give us the money to play Giannis, which I think is the desired spend up. I think on the other side, you'd be looking at obviously Halliburton, and I really like Miles Turner tonight. Marcus Smart, I'm not getting there myself much. If it just happens to be like literally, there's been nothing that Marcus Smart has done as a Wizard that would make me want to play him, and they're keeping his minutes. He hasn't played more than 20 minutes in a game yet. it's a small slate to get a little different. Sure, it's not like my favorite thing in the world, but it certainly I tried it enough times to just be frustrated and go, you know what, I'm done with that. Good luck to you, Andy. Thank you. Matkovich is high owned. Yes. Sometimes with some of the questions, it's a giveaway of whether we have site members or not, because you could look at the ownership. So when we get ownership asking questions, I'm probably less likely. I will answer sometimes, but I can't promise that I'm going to try and just give away everything for free. Again, it's not like I want to be a jerk or anything. I'm very transparent. Everything we do on the site is exactly what I do. But we need to reward the site members and at least give them the premium access. We can't just go through it with everybody. These numbers are going to change. It's even with the projections. I think that it might be a little bit high, and it's going to depend on the starting lineup for real. I'm just going to take a quick look at what the Cleveland projected starting lineup is. So you would guess it would be Struss, Garland, Allen, Mobley, and then it would probably be a Coro with Merrill off the bench. There's a chance you could see Dean Wade start. There's a chance you could see Merrill start, but I think most likely we're going to assume a Coro is the most likely one to start. But Craig Porter Jr. off the bench could be interesting here. It's kind of weird. I actually like Craig Porter. I think he can do things on the court. How much are they going to need him to? Are they going to, like, the spreads? You can see the spread jump back up to 15 because it went down to 11 for a second. No, that was ridiculous. It should never have been 11. No matter what happens tonight, Cleveland should be at least 13-point favorites. If anything else other than that, I would be very, very surprised. And I did bet the under on this game, so good on that at least. And the over under is dropped by, I think, 4 points. Yeah. All right. Well, better closing line. All right. We appreciate you guys. Again, give us a like before you get out of here with the video so we can keep doing these things for free. I'm going to jump into the premium Discord, run my stuff, and get my hockey lineup in. First time playing hockey. Playing DFS for like 12 years now. I haven't played any hockey. We're going to give it a run. We're going to give it a crack. Shout out to Adam for doing a good job covering the hockey for us. And again, if you are a member, please check out the Pay Dirt tools. They're awesome for everything, sports betting included. I really, really think it's an incredibly valuable partnership for us. We're thrilled to be in on it, and we really hope that you guys take advantage of it. Got some awesome packages right now, and like I said, they're going to be going up soon. We're going to have some other options too, but they are going to be going up in price just realistically. So anybody who's been joining us the last couple of days, which we've got a number of new people, you guys are getting a discount on what it's going to be in the very, very near future. NHL is unpredictable. So is baseball. I like baseball. All right. I think that'll be it for. I was going to give a couple more minutes, but it looks like the questions. It's a small slate. It's a 4-gamer. Not anything overly fancy. We don't even have starting lineups yet. I'm going to say in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to jump into the premium Discord chat, and we will go over the rest of the slate. But it's probably going to take me about 5-10 minutes. I'm going to get some things situated and make sure we're at where we want to be. I think you're going to see this number on Merrill closer to 50. Once he doesn't start, maybe not. That's why I think Okoro is kind of an interesting pivot. Now, we know Okoro is not the best point per minute guy, and doesn't mean just because he's starting doesn't mean anything. He can do enough just by being on the court with how little value there is, and there's a reasonable chance he plays more. What do we have Merrill for minutes? We got Merrill at 25, and they've got Okoro right around the same. There's no reason he can't outscore Merrill if he's going to have like 150 ownership, and I think that's what you should be thinking about. You need someone for at 4.7. Schroeder. I'm guessing you already have Schroeder. Zaire Williams. Champagny, I guess, would be the next one, but I don't get excited about playing Champagny. Now, he certainly can get there, but it's not like I don't feel like I think there's a chance that Champagny, he probably plays 20 minutes. There's definitely upside and downside on that. I could see him playing with how many guys they've got. They got him at 23. Not a great fantasy point per minute guy. Let's see how the starting lineup shake out. But with Smart playing tonight, and he didn't play last night. With Middleton playing tonight, he didn't play. Yeah, I think that people are going to end up on some Champagny. I will probably be underweight unless he's starting. That's just where I'm at. I'm not underweight. I just, probably sub 10%. Maybe it'll be right with the field. But that's sort of where I'm at for as far as the slate goes. Corey Kispert, I think you're really trying to find somebody from Washington. Sure. I think Corey Kispert's a bad play, but there's no reason he can't get hot and get there. Is it that different than Merrill? It is. I think Merrill's would be the better of the two, but if at zero ownership, you could take a shot on Kispert. I think his minutes will probably. What do we have him at minutes wise? Actually, this projection does feel a little bit low on Kispert. I mean, it should be low, but it shouldn't be maybe this low. Got him at 22 minutes. That seems about right. But look at these minutes just for Washington, which is partly why I don't love playing them. Is you don't have anybody projected above 29 minutes. It's rough. It's rough to get a ceiling when you're playing on less than 29 minutes, and there is some blowout probably baked into that, but it's not necessarily even just that. It's there's more to it than that. All right. Good luck to everybody tonight, and I hope you guys crush it. I will be in the premium Discord channel in 10 minutes at the latest, and yeah, good luck.